Greetings, my friends. It's your friendly neighborhood PhD, Dr. Judd Burton, coming to you with another Beyond report on this Monday, December the 13th, 2021. As always, if you like the content, please click a like, subscribe, and share to help grow the channel. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Early Merry Christmas, but it is the Christmas season. Uh, so the season's greetings to you. And we'll jump right into the news. Ran into an interesting story about the U.S. military prepping for a zombie apocalypse. Yes, that's right, folks. You heard that correctly, a zombie apocalypse. Now, what in the world would the U.S. military be doing preparing for a zombie apocalypse? Inquiring minds want to know. According to the Christian Science Monitor, this is part of a larger counterterrorism summit. Also interesting, in the words of one of the organizers, uh, the reasoning behind it being that, again, in their words, I'm guessing this is Pentagon, Department of Defense, coming down from the policymakers there, that a zombie apocalypse mimics the same kind of chaotic epiphenomena that other cataclysms do, and so they're using this as a scenario. This is back in October when this is happening, so kind of strange timing anyway. But this story just rolled across my desk this week, and I thought it'd be interesting to pass it along, particularly since Derek Gilbert and I talked about the supernatural contraband of voodoo and the zombie lore being brought across with the influx of Haitian refugees in the United States. Uh, so, kind of interesting, something to keep in mind. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. Yesterday, I also discovered that the author of such works as Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, Servant of the Bones, The Mayfair Witches, and many, many other Gothic horror tales, Anne Rice has passed away at the age of 80. And I first read Interview with the Vampire um, when I was about 18, and it uh, sort of broadened the scope of how I thought about the literary vampire. At any rate, now I've never been a fan of in the genre of making the vampire the hero. You guys know where I stand historically, theologically, on the vampire as a demonic spirit. However, what I liked about Anne Rice is not only was she a fantastic writer, you were just drawn into the story, but I liked the fact that her vampires, whether it was Louis or Lestat or Marius or Armand, they all, um, yes, they were the center of the story. They were the main characters, but despite all of their prowess, their powers, their preternatural allure, despite all of their deadly grace in the way that they took their victims, they all had this gnawing uh, self dialogue deep down within them, and it would come out in the narrative of the stories very often, that they all believe deep down that despite all of these kind of wondrous things, they were really monstrous at their core and aberrant. And that was one thing that I appreciated about Anne Rice, is that she would toe that line, but she would never quite cross it. You know, she was not quite ready to make the vampire completely sympathetic. Um, so really interesting work. I also found her work, her fictionalization of um, early elements of Jesus's life and works like The Young Messiah, really interesting. And this was a time when she was kind of going back to the faith. But I was also sad to learn that she had drifted away again before she died. But a tragic loss in the literary world, for sure. Uh, I would also like to recommend a new book to everybody by Derek Gilbert called The Second Coming of Saturn. Now, I think this is a really good, interesting look at the Watchers, and Derek has done some really good detective work on this personage and has linked its origins to the Watcher Semyadza. So Saturn, Kronos, Enlil, El. There's a whole uh, uh, gallery of masks, if you will, of this thing. And this is interesting to me because I'm interested in, as all of you know, vastly interested in one of Semyad's lieutenants, probably his top lieutenant, Azazel. So I can't recommend that book to you enough. There's some really good work in there. Kudos to Derek for putting that out. Um, now, uh, this week, I've got some uh, really good opportunities to study with the Institute of Biblical Anthropology if you're wanting to look into subjects like the Watchers and the Giants. There's all kind of coursework and certification. I'm always picking up new students. There's always room for more. Um, this will be a great time to get in while the prices are lower because, like as I've said before, there's going to be some new interactive platform kind of stuff coming up in January that'll have to bump the price up a little bit. So this is a great time to get in on some of the sale prices. Um, and if you're interested, I have 6 programs. I have biblical anthropology, biblical demonology, preternatural morphology, the Monsters 101 class that's real popular right now. I've also got um, world mythology, the ancient Near East, Mediterranean civilization. Each one of these this week is $105. Plus, you get my 5 original books in ebook format uh, along with this deal. So you can email me at professorburton@yahoo.com and we can get you registered for that. Books in the bookstore are 15% off this week. I'll have details in the description for all of these sales too. And last year I published a little book called The 12 Days of Christmas Bible Studies. If you're interested, um, you can purchase that. I'll put a link in the description as well. I think it's $5.99 is what I had it down last, and I've gotten good responses from it. People enjoy having it as a kind of devotional over the Christmas holidays. And so you can download that instantly and read about some of the history and language and culture and context of the Nativity story. Um, and on that note, for the videos I'll be making over the next 2 weeks, look for more Christmas related content. Everything from uh, uh, the historical Saint Nicholas to uh, 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 carols and hymns that were written in Latin, uh, and uh, just all kinds of interesting stuff. I may even do an Antiquity X episode on the Krampus, which is kind of the creepy side of uh, the period. Anyway, so lots of deals that you can take advantage of. Get some savings, some Christmas savings on everything this week, and I know that for some people, Christmas is a divisive kind of a time, even within the Christian community. Some people just say that it's veiled paganism, that it's celebrating the Sol Invictus or the birth of Mithras or Tammuz or any of the other deities that were born during the winter solstice. Um, I tend to think about it as, hey, look, I celebrate the birth, life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ every day. This is just something cultural within the Western world that most of us agree to do. I don't think anybody that's worshiping God, that's worshiping Jesus Christ in their heart, it has any sort of pagan intent at all. And I find a lot of that rather distasteful, actually. And I've made a number of videos separating out the pagan elements of the year from the Christian Christmas elements, Christian elements. And I may do some more of those videos over the next couple of weeks too. I'm also planning a. So my point in bringing that up in closing is that this should just be a time when we're taking back sacred space and sacred time and giving it to the Lord. I mean, that's what the long term plan is for humanity, anyways. Is God redeeming humanity, God taking back sacred space and sacred time. It's all His, anyways. Um, so amen and amen, and Merry Christmas as well. And oh, I think I may actually read in one of the Quick Classics episodes. I may read in Greek the passage in Matthew chapter 1, the Matthew variant of the Nativity story. So lots of goodies in multiple languages apparently that are coming up. If I can wrap all this up and get it out in time, not to use a Christmas pun, present pun. But should be a lot of fun, and looking forward to doing more of that for you over the next couple of weeks. Okay, everybody take care, and again, Merry Christmas. We'll be seeing you soon.